Alright, so this is going to be the Liquid versus Space Station Gaming. I want to do this one because I like seeing how different regions fight against one another since they each have their own meta. And so yeah, I just like doing it. Then a little bit about the teams. Team Liquid, they were a they were the dominant Latin American team for a long time. However, they kind of have fallen off over the past season, past 6 months, and that's due to roster changes that haven't worked out in their favor. Overall, the teams like Nip, Ninjas in Pajamas, and Immortals improving, along with FaZe having a really good second season. So they've kind of fallen off a little bit, and then because they also rely kind of on Nesk so much, kind of like how Navi relies on Simple in Counter Strike. When Nesk doesn't perform, the rest of the team isn't always there to step up. So it's what it is. That was their strategy. Was basically just they back up Nesk, and it works. They've won a pro league season, so it can work. Then Space Station, they were one of the worst North American teams, I want to say, and they went. I don't know why it was they. It's not like they had bad players. I think the most questionable, well, not the worst player they had was Chala, but for a large portion of the season, I think they had I think that three of their members had the three most deaths in the North American Pro League. And so, yeah, you're gonna struggle when you literally have when 60% of your team it has the bottom three stats for deaths. Not good. Anyway, however, one thing I will say about Space Station is they actually managed to take a map off of G2 back at, I think it was the Major. I can't remember exactly what game it was, but I think it was Clubhouse. And they ended up losing anyway. It was a best of three. They won one map, lost two. But the fact that they can take maps off of G2 is pretty big. So it's just something. But then they made some roster changes. They didn't actually change what people thought needed to be changed, and they're still not an amazing team. They're not in the top four with really, really. I mean, once Rogue gets back on track, the top four in North America will be EG, Dark Zero, Reciprocity, and Rogue, in whichever order. But yeah, so they're not even. Yeah, so just a little bit about the teams, now a little bit about the bands. This is Oregon. Capital, very big because with the changes to his firebolts, you can actually burn out the entire closet area where in the basement where Mira wants to play. And because of that, it's impossible to put a mirror there anymore. The default mirror actually changes when Capital is in play because of that buff. So basically Space Station says they don't want to deal with that. My best guess is they want to run Mira. If they don't, that's going to confuse me. But Capital also, due to the increased range, you can do a lot more with him now, where you can learn the angles so that the spread will cover more than what it used to, and you don't have to worry about it being at a weird angle. So a lot of teams don't like that. They want to be able to hold inside their corners, and by banning Capital, they can now do that. Now, Liquid banned Nomad. That's not too surprising. Latin America is known for being aggressive. Nomad counters that aggression, so makes sense. Then they also ban Echo, and that tells me that they don't want to run IQ to get rid of them. They don't want to have to run a Thatcher, and overall they just don't like dealing with him. A lot of teams don't like to. Of the big three bans on defense, it's Echo, Maestro, and Mira. And so normally it's just which of those three do the two teams hate going against the most. And then Space Station banned Valkyrie. I think this was a bit of a target ban to a degree on Liquid, because Latin America, they're an aggressive region, so if you give them the ability to play aggressively with information, then they are going to be able to excel in that. However, by taking away that information, it can hurt Liquid's aggression. So with that, we can now begin.
We haven't seen. I feel like the Redeemer this SSG roster right now is looking life, but no, I will say one thing though. At least it's not in vain. Gameplay today.
Right. So basement defense coming out now. Going over the operator band. So Paula is on. Zofia. I mean, it's a Zofia. How do I say it? She's a very well-balanced operator. She brings a lot of utility, good fragging power. So overall, not a surprising pick. One thing about Oregon is it's a very stale map, and a lot of the strategies don't rely on a lot of operators. It's really just bring a hard breacher, bring thermite, and you're good. And you can now attack literally every site. And some way to get rid of Cades, because Cade is in play here. Our space station probably says, okay, they're going to run a Thatcher, so we can't run Cade, which is smart. But now with that, with Oregon, there's not too many amazing strategies anymore. It's more just the execution that it comes down to. So it's a stale map, and it's honestly pretty good that it's getting removed from the map pool for Pro League, because it really does only have 2 viable bomb sites. The other 2 are terrible. However, it is what it is. Then Moringa is on Thatcher. Cade is in play, so you might need a Thatcher. And if you want to... so you have the choice between Thatcher and Maverick for... Yeah, basically between those 2. And so a Maverick can be great if you're trying to attack the hatches for the basement. However, if they throw a Cade if they're defending upstairs or any wall, and they throw a Cade on top of the wall, Maverick is going to have trouble getting it, and so Thatcher can do that, as well as... So Thatcher's kind of a bit easier to use, and he's a bit safer to bring rather than the Maverick. Then PSK is on Thermite. Basically, if you don't know... really, Thermite's for walls, and Hibana's for hatches. However, if you don't know which you're going up against, it's better to bring Thermite, because although you can't get 3 hatches, you can still open up walls if necessary, and 2 hatches, which is normally more than you need. Well, actually, that's normally about what you need. Then Sexy Cakes on Twitch. That's a little interesting. Well, actually, a little yes, a little no. So it's a really good gun, and the gadget, it will counter the Mira and the Maestro and the Bandit. So overall, it's not necessarily a bad pick. It's just, and it kind of comes down to the strategy of Oregon, where you don't really need one. Well, no, you do need a strategy, but you don't need to be a heavily strategic team. If I remember correctly, Oregon's called the map where good teams go to die because of how it plays out. So, I mean, really, you bring Thatcher, you bring Thermite, and that's all you need. 3 others, throw them on Comfort Ops. Neska's on Sledge. There's nothing amazing there. It's a comfort pick. They probably wanted nades. And he said, okay, I'll go Sledge. Now, on a space station. So, Smoke. So, it's a Smoke. I mean, you can kill 40 seconds of time and stop a plant. Okay? Like, it's self-explanatory. Chala's on Mira. And here, I'll show you this. So the default mirror positioning on this double wall right here used to be right here. However, because a firebolt sent roughly around this general area from the hatch, but from Capital, it can actually burn out the entire closet. And because of that, if Capital is in play, this becomes the new mirror window, because then you can get away. However, if you have to run around away like that, normally this is open, so you get gunned down. But basically, mirror window is going to go here and probably there. This one may change depending on what they want. And I want to see what Doc's doing, but
He's been on the roster for about
okay. But anyway, Mira is in. Fultz, the newest member of Space Station, is on Maestro. I mean, he has, by running the Maestro, it required. Well, Maestro has a good gun, brings good utility. The Evil Eyes can get countered pretty easily now, and I think they're actually pretty. I think they're too weak in my opinion, because of the changes made with the Twitch and the Thatcher. But is what it is, but really, Fultz is just bringing the Maestro for the little bit of intelligence and the gun. Because, I mean, it's a good gun. Then Doc. So, Doc is here to frag. That's his purpose. And if I remember, Rampy actually... I want to say it was Rampy who hit, like, 20-something kills. I think he broke the kill record for a game at, like, 23 kills. And... I think he ended up still losing because of, once again, 3 members of Space Station had the worst stats in all of Pro League, on all of North American Pro League. But it is what it is. So, but Rampy is basically the fragger of Space Station, and Fultz, I think, may be a secondary one, where I know Chala is more of a support, and then Thinking Nade has not had a good season, so I don't know. He's probably just flex now, and Bosco, I think, is known for smoke. I can't remember exactly. Like half of North America is known for smoke, but it is what it is. Then Thinking is on Bandit, which is I find that questionable because downstairs, my only thought process would be if they're trying to hold upstairs somewhere and they want to reinforce a wall, and with that they're going to be using the bandits on those. However, other than that, I don't see a real reason because. Well, I mean, kind of if you... Well, no, not really. I don't see a use of the bandit because you could theoretically bandit the mirror window. However, throw a Thatcher grenade. Literally just throw a Thatcher grenade on the ceiling above. It'll get rid of it. I think it will anyway. But, yeah, because of that, I'm curious about about the bandit. Maybe it's just a comfort pick and they wanted to have a good gun in a nitro cell. However, at that point, I'd say why not just bring mutes if that was the case. However, I don't know. I don't know what the thought process is here, and I need to see.
1.5 to 2 weeks. So we'll see if that ends up having an effect here on Oregon. They're going to put both in a very comfortable position.
These reinforcements here tell me that there's going to be a hard hold inside a meeting because they don't want to be giving. They want to force the attackers through these doorways and not give angles, which can look all the way down into meeting.
Especially utilizing Maestro.
Next, this was shotgunned out, and that is both good and bad. It depends who your attacker is. If it is a Hibana, you want that reinforced. If it is a Thermite, you want that open. That's just something that you're going to have to guess on, basically. But most of the time, this is shotgunned out so that the Thermite can't go right here. Put his thermite charge on the wall at crouch level, and it'll actually blow up the hatch as well. That's why you do it. So 2 reinforcements there. They're probably going to reinforce here as well. I see Sexy. I hope Sexy Cake's drone is outside. I think it is, but I'm not sure.
On smoke, which is phenomenal. But Bosco is going to have help from also Mira with Shala. They're going to have to be cognizant and keep in mind that Twitch is in play along with Thatcher, which can be direct counters to where they can break down that defense once they attack bases.
Now, one thing I will say is this wall right here isn't reinforced. Normally, this is reinforced, and this is shotgunned open, which with a mirror window being placed on the wall, which allows you to see down the hallway as well as see through this wall into the doorway. And even without the mirror window there, this still gives you areas to move around, because if this wall gets opened here and this wall is also opened, there's nowhere really to sit, because you can't sit in this area because of the hatch. You then wouldn't be able to sit in this area because you could get gunned down through the doorway like that. You then also You can't sit over here because it's open. You can't sit anywhere around here. So this would be the only spot that you could sit.
Traditionally speaking, you're not going to see too many super crazy things here on defense.
We've seen it all.
It's pretty much played out. Like, it used to be, oh my gosh, they're going tower. Who does that? And now it's like, hey, they're going tower.
This is the last time we're going to see Oregon at the tournament, by the way.
What has happened? Sexy Cake, did you misclick your barrel button? Or is that...
I believe Sexy Cake did misclick the barrel button because there was no purpose in bringing a... There was literally zero purpose in bringing a suppressor on a gun. All it does is make it so, one, your recoil is hard to control, which, and I mean, at a high level, it's not going to change anything. However, it also takes away damage. So if you've ever walked away, if you've ever died and the enemy walked away with 1 HP, and you're using a suppressor, it's because you're using a suppressor. Okay. So right now, there's a roam clear going on, and basically the way it's kind of the same concept as a top down. The one problem with Oregon though is you have to, this wall right here leading to attic, with it being soft, it allows people to rotate all around the map if there's a rotate hole here. So a lot of teams will attack from the big window where Nesk is coming from, which allows them to clear out the top floor, get a flank ready on this wall, and once they have a flank ready, they'll then be able to, once they get a flank watch ready, then they can start either A, pushing people out of meeting, or B, going for their plant down A based on whether or not that's what they're set up for.
Side on the F2, I mean, the gun's an absolute laser already in and of its own right, and its rate of fire is extremely high with a good damage margin. So that's suppressor is going to take away the trace.
So you saw Twitch putting down her. Oh, I hate that. Anyway, you saw Twitch putting down her Claymore there. That's just getting ready in case somebody wants to come out there. Because with it, if it's reinforced, that tells you that somebody is probably going to be either going to be playing an Addict, or they're going to be playing below and they want the support. They want to know that Attic isn't just going to be walked into. So with that, with it being soft, however, Liquid has to worry about a flank from Space Station. And so that's why the Twitch was putting her Claymore down, even though there wasn't a rotate hole or anything.
Pretty quiet. Only downfall to it is that you're going to have a little bit more recoil with the F2 is not a big deal, but your damage margin is going to be a little bit lower. So he's going to have to hit him a couple more times, but again, with that rate of fire, you're not going to mess with it too much.
And the hunt for roamers definitely taking place with Team Liquid. You see two roamers at the moment in the Space Station game. We have one person meeting hall, another person I believe is in around big tower, but with the bandit trick happening, Thermite.
So with the, I like how the door is closed and the attackers haven't opened it, because by opening it, that lets the defenders walk out, and if you're not ready for that, you can gun down. However, this also fucks up the Thermite, because if Bandit has no pressure going on him, he's just going to bandit trick all day. If the Yellow Stairs door didn't exist on Consulate, bandits would be bandit tricking that wall, the garage wall, a lot more.
Get somebody upstairs to hold the angle down main stairs so nobody can rotate out. Try and isolate the two people inside of meeting. Sexy Cake might get aggressive here on split. Try and get that frag on Bandit, because right now, Bandit in the hands of Thinking Aid is the one who's holding down this site. PSK though will put matters into his own hands as his lax thermic charge will go down.
Alright, so now this is kind of the downside of bringing the Thermite. Because one of his Thermite charges was tricked, he now can only open the hatch, and Space Station will most likely be able to hold on to Meeting Hall. However, I'm curious as to how Chala. Oh wait, Chala's probably, wait, where is? Oh yeah, Chala's upstairs in Meeting. I'm serious, the mirror's being downstairs, and I think this is a bit of a mistake, because if Chala has a nitro cell. So if you have the ability to, if you have two people with nitro cells of the Mira and the Bandit, and you can keep them alive until 30 seconds, or even whenever they're going for the plant, doesn't really matter, and you have a Mira, so you have information combined with the information from a Maestro cam, you should be able. You shouldn't have to worry too much about. Well, no, you should be able to stop any plants because you have so much utility. You can just dump on them. Combine. I mean, because they have 3 smoke canisters and 2 nitro cells, which is a lot of time and a lot of damage they can do. So I disagree with Chala playing. I disagree where Space Station is putting Chala. I think that'd be better if they had Fultz and Rampy upstairs, because those two could probably hold on to, those two combined with Thinking Nate being up there, because Thinking Nate has the bandit trick, it makes sense. So with him being up there, with those 3 up there, they're not going to be able to take meeting if there's a proper hold coming out. Now, so really, why Chala's even in the position to get killed, while you have 2 bodies downstairs already, one being a smoke and the other probably being Fultz. I'm not sure. I disagree with that. And then the other thing is that Chala's getting aggressive, and the thing is, Chala, he's not an amazing player. He really isn't. So him getting aggressive is just almost throwing away his life at times, and he's really lucky. He's at 25 HP right now because he got aggressive, and he's lucky that I think Paula just didn't hit the head. Because at that point, well, Mira's dead, you're down a man, you lost the nitro cell, and you now have to worry about a lot more shit. So I disagree with where the Mira is.
Up downstairs for the very first time this game.
Team Liquid was not trying to waste any time at all, already down to the 125 mark. So we're going to have to expect that some action towards the site will take place. But right now, Team Liquid, they're getting in a position. They're highly aware of what's going on with the roamers. And speaking of Mira,
This double Mira strat confuses me. And I don't understand it. Because nothing's going to... I know there's a reason for it, and I really don't have a clue. My best guess is, and the fact there's another 2 reinforcements here in closet, that just confused. So I'm not sure, it might stop grenades, because what I mean by that is, as a sledge or as anyone, you can actually bounce your grenades off of here that will go through the opening that's normally created, and I think this might block it, as well as maybe Space Station is so scared that the Twitch is going to get one of these Miras that they are just going to do a double Mira strat just to be sure. However, at that point, why not just put a shield in the doorway? That's going to stop a Twitch drone. I'm not joking. That's all that's needed, and it will stop any Twitch drone. So I don't understand the point of the double mirror setup here, because they're both going to give the same information, and it doesn't really make sense to me. Maybe I'm not seeing something. Maybe they want to be able to open up one... I really don't know. I just can't say. I disagree with it. I think it's a waste of a mirror window and a reinforcement that you could have put behind them. Because one of these reinforcements and mirror windows could go behind. So, also this is opened. So that just makes no sense. I don't understand why it's opened. I understand why it's open. I just don't understand, well, if it's already open, why not just invest the mirror window and reinforcement in the other bomb site where the wall is soft?
but double mirror settings.
Alright, sorry about that. Oh, I think I was talking about the double mirror strat, and I just don't like it. And what is that cam?
Highly aware of what's going on with the roamers. And speaking of mirror,
So Smoke's in the mirror.
Well, okay.
Smoke's playing in the closet. Who would have known?
Quite a while, but double mirror said he's got the left one.
Okay, so the purpose of this camera right here is to see the default plant spot on top of here. And I think it may possibly be guarded from the stairs over here. I'm not sure about that. I don't know this angle. So if it is, then it's kind of good and bad. Like, it's good that it's guarded, but it's bad that it can't see a plant going down over here. However, my best guess is that maybe the thought process is, well, if we can see here and we know they're not there, they must be over there, so we can just smoke a nitro cell there, which would make sense. It's kind of a trade-off where the more you can see, the more you can get shot from.
One top. We called that the breaches stat. Yo, no. No, actually, in this
And then the second one is in the... I think the second one's in the mirror window.
So what they're doing is they're making it
Well, in the
extremely
closet. And what are you doing? Not you, PSK1. I'm curious what Moringa's doing.
Is they're making it extremely difficult to get nades inside of that room instead of opening up the top where they can bounce it off. You really have to try and pigeonhole that nade. It's going to be very...
I'm not sure what the Thatcher's doing running up, because the main my only thought is that maybe they're worried about a flank coming from the attic, and because of that they're sending someone to watch it. However, Moringa looks like he's also up there. So why are two people upstairs holding the flank, with Paula having to worry about them? Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Nesk is over to the left, so 5. Oh, this is Sexy Cakes. Wait, no, Moringa. Oh, I thought that. Wait, who? Okay, no, never mind. Don't ignore what I'm saying. I couldn't figure out who was who. So Moringa's upstairs. Everybody else is dealing with the flank, with Twitch holding hatch, Nesk on stairs, Thermite getting ready to plant, and the Zofia holding a meeting.
And bounce it through that window at that angle. So isolating that and making it to where Mira can play safely off the corner is exactly.
And this is now the whole reason you bring a smoke. However, one thing I'm gonna say is I don't understand why the mirror windows can survive against 2 Twitch drones if one was already opened and there's only one person really guarding from it. Like, one thing I'll say about a lot of Twitch players is they don't use their utility to the best they can, and I think it hurts their team, because if they could use their utility to get rid of the Maestro camera here and the mirror window there, that's a large amount of utility they got rid of.
What they're doing, that toxic smoke can be breathed in by PSKs. He's going to lose
However,
half of his health to it as well.
Alright, now Space Stations, they're ready for this. So, right now, if Liquid just stalls out, they're going to lose this, because there's still 2 nitro cells and 2 smoke canisters left at 37 seconds. Roughly 10 to 15 seconds per smoke canister. And then with that, you have 2 nitro cells. So this should... Let's see what
You're going to
happens.
have somebody trying to hold this cross angle so that they can eliminate Bosco. Otherwise, it's going to be a very rough shot for them. 30 seconds left on the clock. He has 2 smoke grenades.
3 people are on the stairs now.
20 to 25 seconds of denial. It should mean another smoke grenade. That's exactly what it's going to mean. It's actually Bosco's.
Yeah, that's not going to work. That is... Okay, that's just really bad from Liquid, because they literally have no way of actually contesting this smoke, and he's just throwing his smoke canisters. He's doing his job. This is a very easy thing for a smoke to do. So I question what Liquid's strategy was, especially with PSK just planting there, because it's going to get smoked off. He's not going to survive it. Now, 18 seconds left.
Another toxic bag going to come through. Is 60K going to stick it? Yes, he is at last toxic.
And this is stupid. So, 20 seconds left. Smoke canister goes out. However, smoke canisters are buggy because they are technically client side, not server side. And because of that, this Twitch I think is actually, yeah, she's just tanking these because I think that was a good smoke, and you literally see Sexy in there. And so the fact that he got the diffuser down is pretty stupid, and it's good that. And I'm surprised that. Okay, well, I see Chalo came in with a nitro cell. However, that's something that, like, you can't really blame Chala for any of this because they probably got a call out that the smoke was still smoking and he was thinking that he didn't need to use it. And I would assume, yeah, I don't need to use it either. However, because the smoke canister itself fucked up, then they weren't ready for a nitro cell, so he couldn't kill Sexy beforehand, and it's honestly just one of the kind of the issues with the game, and Space Station kind of got screwed by it. But anyway, I will say, however, it's very good from Bosco that he probably recognized the smoke didn't do its job, and he knows this guy is sticking it, so he throws an impact grenade and actually takes down 50 or so HP from Sexy. Or bomb goes down. Then Rampy gets killed from Moringa. Moringa was on the flank, if I remember correctly. Fultz just walks into Nesk's crosshair. Paula kills someone from the hatch, and Nesk gets another second kill. So basically, I would say that round came down to a glitch more than anything else, and that really sucks. And it really just sucks. Now, there's not really much. So the thing is, Space Station themselves actually played that really well, because having all your utility and 5 people alive at 30 seconds and having all your smoke canisters, that's really big. And they played that well, and it was really just bad luck. Bad luck is what happened. So I can't really. There's not much to really say. Now on Liquid, they messed up. So they showed that they didn't have any. They kind of were one-dimensional. And this is kind of an issue that a lot of Latin American teams have, where they're so used to just being able to steamroll groups that when things don't actually go to plan, they kind of fall apart. So the idea was that they wanted to take meeting. However, they were not ready for the bandit to be bandit tricking, and the fact that they somehow they didn't even try to check the wall just to make sure that there wasn't a bandit there is really bad on their part. That tells me they're not droning. And that's really big, because that thermite charge could have changed everything for them on attack. However, they, in all honesty, relied on the smoke having an issue with the actual gadget rather than winning based on overall skill. Now, the next thing is that if you actually want to plant in this area, you need smokes, because you need to be able to smoke the mirror window, hold an angle on because if they can see you, then they can just throw their smokes and they can do whatever. Because there basically are 4 plant spots here. There, and about there. Those are the 4 plant spots. And by making it so that they can see exactly where you are, you can really only plant here or here. However, if you can smoke that out, you can plant anywhere around this area, and you have a smoke grenade that messes up, then that can change the, like, I'm not saying the smoke grenade itself, I'm saying if you plant here and they think you're here and they throw a smoke grenade and it only goes around like this, it doesn't touch you, then they assumed wrong because they couldn't see, and you win because of that.
I know, including us as spectators. So, for instance, on his screen, that toxic smoke isn't where it is for us. So, it might be on our screen, he's in the smoke, he should be taking damage, but on his screen he's not, therefore he's not taking damage.
That easily explains why Sexy Cake was able to get the diffuser down, and as he was taken out, he still got the job done. But I really want to commend Team Liquid for just being cognizant of the time. They didn't waste a lot of time at all, and they had more than enough time to get to the site to make sure they could.
They did. They did not. The caster is flat out wrong here. And the thing is, I'm not trying to say that he's a bad caster or anything. They're just trying to talk for like 8 hours straight. They're just going to say stuff. However, it's not going to be like you can just pause it and say, okay, watch over and over and over again. They need to see it. But Liquid, they really got lucky that round. Because if Smoke had managed to throw a second impact, if Chala was a little bit quicker on the Nitro Cell, if the smoke canister hadn't messed up, any of those things happened, Liquid loses the round. Because they waited until like 40 or so seconds. So that really wasn't good on their part. Now, no changes from Space Station. And now who was dropped? It was Zofia. It was the Zofia has been dropped for the Jackal, which makes sense because the Zofia wasn't really doing much. The Twitch and Thatcher can both counter the Maestro cam, so that's not an issue. And then the Twitch can also counter Mira, but also with the Jackal now you have smokes. And I'm surprised they're not actually running Glaz. Since Latam, I think Latam really likes Glaz. At least they used to. Same bomb site, same roam clear, same hold. Why is Mira upstairs but Fult's downstairs? No droning is coming out. You hold angles like these if you don't know what you're walking into, which tells me it's not droning. This is useless. Have someone drone you. Okay, this is bad. Alright, so now they're actually going to be droning the bandit out. And then they send Paula with his Twitch drone to take them out. Even though there is a Maestro and a Mira in play, and they have a Thatcher. Throw Thatcher and let the Twitch use her utility to kill the specialized utility. That's going to make the biggest difference. Because this Twitch drone, all you're doing is exposing it to the attackers, and by doing that, you're giving the chance to give it away. Paula right now is risking half of his utility in order to take out 2 bandit charges, which a single Thatcher could do, and that's Thatcher's job. So I don't get why he's wasting this. Like, this is not good.
Now, that's going to be a big thing here as you see Paula with the Twitch able to get some of those bandit batteries off of the pantry here for Space Station. So they're going to have Thinking and rotate over, put another bandit battery down, but it appears that Sexy Cake might be ready. So he's going to analyze some footsteps, and it is going to be Thinking Aid inside of Meeting.
So Thinking Aid's going to have a teammate right behind him. You see him holding that lane. And slowly but surely, Team Liquid, they're going to move in. Try to get that hatch open, but first they want to make sure that they back up these roamers. Minute and 50 seconds left on the clock. Once again, folks, utilize the Maestro. Slowly but surely, here the EMP.
Wrong wall. Okay, so this is bad from Space Station. And basically, I'm going to say this was Chala's fault. Because it was his job to protect this bandit, to make sure nobody could just walk in and gun him down from the main door. And yes, it is a pain in the ass to actually try and fight that. However, you have to fight it. If you want to bandit trick, you either A, have to fight it, or B, not bandit trick it. And Chala decided that he didn't want to fight it, but they also wanted to bandit trick it, so there was no pressure on the Jackal, and he could just walk in and gun down Thinking Nade. That's just bad on Chala. And then he falls back because now the wall can't be saved. Same double mirror strategy coming out, I think, which is, I don't like it.
barbed wire placed there, so he's just able to walk in and claim himself the life of the team. So it's going to make this a little bit more difficult for the boys.
All right, so there goes. Wait, hold on.
Place there, so he's just able to walk in and claim himself the life of Thinking Nick. So it's going to make this a little bit more difficult for the boys of Team Space Station. So
The difference with this round that I want to see compared to last round, the entire last round could have went to Space Station game with Bosco. Is that smoke a little bit closer towards Sexy Cake? So it's going to be all about that utility placement.
big thing for me right now is there's actually another layer to this mirror setup. So they keep both mirrors.
So one thing I'm not understanding is why, when there's a Thatcher and a Twitch, is the Sledge using his grenades to kill the Maestro cams? Because that's a kill. That's a potential kill on a person. And by throwing that grenade, I think it's just a wasted grenade. There's nothing you're really gaining from it that couldn't be solved by either Thatcher or Twitch. So I think that's a waste of utility coming from Liquid.
Until late, so that they can't possibly get inside that room and kill Bosco. So not only is it that, but it keeps the vitality.
There we go.
of that
Smoke's
smoke
coming down.
Which is great. Smoke's coming down from Sexy, as PSK is going to take quite a bit of damage. That's going to be the diffuser.
Yeah.
Bosco's going to
Now this is the other reason why Mira is so. Why Smoke is so strong here. He doesn't even have to worry about these plants, and this was kind of. This is good from Space Station, where they said, "Okay, plants are going down. Let's have a Smoke and a Nitro cell there."
that, but it keeps the vitality of that smoke alive, which is great. Smoke's coming down from Sexy.
And a Smoke came down. However, it was roughly 2 seconds left, so that would have. Right now, PSK can get this plant down.
PSK is going to take quite a bit of damage. That's
Hold on. Hold on. Okay, no, that's an impact nade that he was hit by. Okay, so this Smoke, this Bosco knows what he's doing here. He knows the plant spots. He knows what to expect, and he's ready for this. He just hit PSK with an impact grenade, and that stopped the plant. Twice he has stopped PSK, so that's really good on his part.
balls of death in the proper instances. Mantle going to be gained. He assumes that he's going to be going over to laundry basket, but that's not the case. Sexy Cake's actually going to be able to get this diffuser down.
And now the Smokes go out, so right now Smoke just was not ready for this. And yeah, so Smoke wasn't ready for it. And Moringa kills him, and because of that, this is also... So, the Smoke is great if you know that they're going for the plants and you can stop it, or it's just barely beginning. If it's begun, then he's borderline useless because he can't out damage the plant. He's not going to do enough damage to actually stop the plant. And that's something that I think Space Station has to recognize, where, okay, they're using their utility, they're going for the plant, okay, we stopped the first one, someone needs to be close to here, rotating over, ready to use their Nitro Cell, and waiting, and listening.
With the diffuser going down, Moraine was able to take out Bosco. Moving in, see the outline, and immediately Paula is able to get
Manfield loses the gunfight.
1v4, it's gonna be all up to Charlotte, the mirror player, and that's gonna make quick work.
And Charlotte just gets domed.
Again, that's the thing about Oregon in trying to tap in some control. Yes, yeah. Okay, exactly. Push up locker room down there. Yeah. In laundry. So, yep.
Right, so changes coming out. So now Space Station likes to go upstairs because they've lost twice in a row downstairs, and they say, okay, we don't want to go there a third time, let's try somewhere else. So they're going upstairs because kitchen is a joke. It's literally a joke. It is the worst bomb site in this map. And then tower is also partially a joke because they're both terrible sites. Tower is actually somewhat defendable if you can get some picks early on and you have 2 or so people who know how to play the T3. However, it's still not good. Anyway, reinforcements coming here stops the sight lines going there. They're basic reinforcements there, I'm pretty sure. And let's see. Okay, so these are kind of these 2 reinforcements are kind of the unique ones. So you either have the choice of putting it here and here, or here. So by putting it here, it stops the angle through the bed frame to right here, which makes me think somebody wants to actually play there. A lot of people do play there. So yeah, that's that. Then this is getting opened up so you can shoot the window if they try and repel in from below. Same thing's going to happen over here most likely. And what is it? The one problem with this setup is that if you're trying to actually hold inside of here, if the enemy jumps into the window and looks over, then because of this hole, they can actually see a large amount of the bomb site, and you don't have much cover. That's kind of the downfall you get. So basically, if you have the one in the middle, you're a little bit safer when it comes to people actually jumping in, but when it comes to fighting people outside, you're in a worse situation. Now, changes. So Paula is off the Twitch and onto the Maverick. Okay, I don't understand that, because Thatcher's going to do whatever job Paula can do. So I don't understand why they're bringing the Maverick. I really don't. Maybe they want to, I don't know. My best guess is that they just want to open up sight lines, and so instead of having, say, instead of opening a wall with a thermite charge, they just need a sight line, so they open it just a peek hole with the Maverick. Maybe that's what they want to do for Armory. Open up a little peek hole, look down, open up the closet one, look down. Maybe. I'm not sure though. But now, on to the next. So then they drop the Jackal for a Dokkaebi. So, Jackal's not going to do too much on this map, in my opinion, because most of the times if you're roaming, you just drop hatches to get back to sight. So you're not really going to get cut out unless you try and go for some weird flank or weird, you go for a questionable rotate. But most of the pros know what they can and can't do, and because of that, the Jackal is not going to be too effective. But Liquid, they want the smoke, so they're bringing the Dokkaebi, and then by calling, that can help. Then they can call, which can help do kind of what Jackal was doing. But instead of it being for one player 3 times, it's all 5 players twice. And then Neska's still on Sledge. Now on the space station. So no Mira, which kind of makes sense. It's arguable. So if you want to hold downstairs, I think bringing Mira is great. And and I like putting a Mira on this wall at crouch level, facing here, because if you barbed wire the stairs, play roughly right here with the Jaeger device, if somebody tries to jump in through the window, you can go and peek them. If they try and walk in through here, you can use the Mira window and peek them. If they try and come up the stairs, you can peek them. So this is a very powerful spot, and in fact, it's one of the 2 necessary spots, with this being one of them and this being another. Really, it's anywhere inside of kids. It doesn't really matter where you are exactly, just that you're in kids, because by being in kids, it creates a crossfire on this window, as well as it stops people from just repelling in. So if you can basically control here, you can stop them from running in through this doorway. They can't just run in sprinting, because then this guy can gun them down as well. They can't run up the stairs because you can get them. You can get that. So you have these are kind of 2 necessary positions to play. And even if it's a 2v4, 2v5, it's still winnable if you hold those two positions.
You have one pushing long, you have one pushing long.
Then, okay, so Chalice on mute instead, which, okay, I mean, they probably just want to stop drones, which I find kind of amusing since Liquid isn't really droning that much, I don't think. Then Fultz is on Cade, even though there is a mute and a bandit, they still think they need a Cade. And even though there's a Thatcher in play. So I disagree with that. Like, if you want to run Cade on this map, you ban Thatcher. So why they're not banning Thatcher, I'm not understanding exactly. So let's see. Maybe he does something. Probably not, though. Anyway, Rampy is now on the Jaeger, which I like a lot more than him being on the sledge. I mean, not on the dock, because his utility is a lot better. And you need to be able to stop grenades if you want to effectively hold kids in the top of white stairs. Because you can just bounce a grenade off the ceiling in kids or off the wall for white stairs.
The hallway, and just hope for the best. Really, post plant on Oregon is so damn difficult, man.
It's annoying.
Especially for the defense, because there's really no way to battle back after that bomb down and angles are established. Especially when you're downstairs. It's going to take something on Liquid them to mess up for Space Station to battle back.
This is being mastered when we realize home facilities and also C4s. But we're gonna change bomb sites right now. Bomb sites will be kids' dorms. Top floor is one of my favorite bomb sites. There's a lot of ways to get in.
Yep. Space Station going to be doing a kitchen hold, which in a traditional sense is obviously held from downstairs. They're going to establish angles with a shotgun up through the floor of kitchen, as you can see right there, to watch the windows.
And now Rampy is dead.
Paul's going to establish dominant.
What was that?
Traditional sense is obviously held from downstairs. They're going to establish angles with a shotgun up through the floor of kitchen, as you can see right there, to watch the windows. And speaking of establishing things, Paul's going to establish
I don't know. So, based on where this body is, two thoughts. First, he's either peeking the window, which is really stupid. However, with the entirety of the window being open, I think that's what he did. I think he just peeked the window. My other thought was maybe he was trying to climb up the ladder and got shot through the window. However, I don't think that happened.
establish dominance over Rampy as Rampy appeared to be going for an early kill here, trying to find some of that SSG aggression.
And now, here's kind of the thing. A lot of teams will take from tower when they're going for an upstairs attack. So you always put someone in T3 just to waste time. The problem, though, is that because Rampy got aggressive, T3 has now been lost after 23 seconds, which means all of tower is basically lost, which means that attic is lost. So they've just given up a huge amount of map control, all because Rampy went for a kill.
So well from the current leader in frags for SSG, or at least leader in
Can't-
stats overall, as fan is coming off.
I'm trying to remember if Rampy is actually still on Space Station, but I can't.
The same map last season. He currently holds the record for most kills in a sanctioned match. So we'll see if anybody's able to break that here. But right now it seems like it's Team Liquid all day.
Begin with Sledge. Slowly trying to work his way into the hallway, leading into the bedroom. Right now, just gonna be a little bit of drone work. We're gonna look for roamers. We're gonna find the best way possible to get into the building. And Finkenade immediately by shooting out that drone.
Yes.
They know where his location is.
Oops, I did something. I don't know what though. I missed that because I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, yeah, Rampy is still on Space Station. I can't remember who got. Somebody beginning with an R got switched from one team to another, I think.
And Finkenade immediately by shooting out that drone. They know where his location is. And we can already-
Right, here's the thing. So thinking he's playing a bit aggressive, and
And Finkenade immediately by shooting out that drone.
imagine the difference if Thinking Nade's holding this position and there was a mirror window right here. Just think about that for a second, because that would stop any push, because if you have this mirror window here, you have to be worried if you push into the door over here of somebody coming here, or of thinking nade right here, swinging out and killing you as well. So 2 angles, you don't want to push that. You then say, okay, we know thinking nade's here. Well, if we try and push him like this, then we're going to get shot from the mirror window. And then if we try and push him from this direction, we have to worry about a flank from coming down white stairs. So I think that right now, mirrors could be really useful for this setup.
It's gonna be up to him to really burn as much time as possible against Team Liquid.
We're gonna have our first Kaid of the day as Bosco's going to
Okay.
gas, but main thing here.
I don't know what Bosco just did. I don't know why he just used a smoke grenade. I don't understand it. I really don't. I think that was a waste of a smoke grenade. And I'm not sure why he did it. Maybe he was thinking something else, but I think that was a waste.
When you have that amazing shotgun that you can kill practically anybody in 2 bullets, but you have the electric bombs.
So now 2 smoke canisters have been used. That's not going to do anything at this point. For 1, it's not going to do anything damage-wise because I think he's putting it on himself. So right now the attacks can still kind of go to the windows without too much trouble, and it's not really pushing them off. The other thing is that by playing in the position he's in, you can't really get rid of him unless you use a grenade, which is why PSK is... Okay, so a Nitro Cell just went out and hit the window frame here, and that, I'm going to assume, was from Chala. But with that, that's kind of a... it's not really a waste, it's just he went for a kill, either Thinking Nate or Chala went for a kill and it didn't work out. So Marina gets killed, but the thing is that with the double windows that the smoke is playing, you have to, once the ADS is burned, you can no longer play there because all it takes is a single grenade bouncing off the ceiling to land right there and you're dead. And so no Jaeger ADS means you can't play there, especially when Nesk has grenades. Now Thatcher goes down. Well, no, Thatcher is killed. Alright, so it looks like Liquid is going for the push now, and Bosco and Fultz just both got gunned down by... Did you just shoot your teammate? Okay, so Fultz, one thing I'm going to talk about is his positioning. He was right here in the middle of the open. That is a god-awful spot, and I understand he's trying to maybe contest the bomb site over here a little bit, but this is not how you can do it. If you want to, right now, what he's saying is he cannot trust Chala and Thinking Nade playing from below, which Chala's a shotgun, Thinking Nade is a nitro cell. So those two, if somebody repels in, they should be able to get them. So he should not be worrying about this bomb site in the slightest. Instead, he should be worried about a push from either here or up white stairs. Instead, he's looking in out of the 2 directions. Out of the 3 directions, you can really look. He looks of the 3 main directions. He looks at the only one that wasn't really significant, and then Nesk just walks in and guns down 2 people. Right now, there are 2 Jaeger ADSs on white stairs. However, there's no body over here, which means Space Station invested in white stairs, but didn't actually play white stairs, one of the 2 positions they actually need. And that makes no sense. And now, because nobody was actually watching, neither Chala... Okay, here's the thing. I want to wait for the repel in. So thinking Nade, right, you can see his body. He's right there. Kind of hard to see, but he's right there. That's near this doorway. You really can't run out this doorway because you can claymore it really easily. So it's not something you can really... You can't always use it, and it's very easy just to watch it. So really, he shouldn't be worrying about that. However, with Smoke having to give up his position, that then makes it so that Space Station now has to worry about somebody swinging in from here, and why the Dokkaebi and Thermite are just allowed to swing in, I don't understand. Because even though it's smoked, how Sexy Cake manages to get in here and the plant manages to go down when there's... Right now, I want to go over where everybody is. So, Paula's outside the main window. PSK and... So, let's see. Maverick's outside the main window. Thermite and Dokkaebi are on the main... on the kids' windows. And Nesk is gunning people down from attic. So, based off of that, what pressure is coming in from below for Space Station Gaming? None. So why is it that the two people who have no pressure being applied to them can't look up through the kill holes they created and gun down the people repelling in? Let's see, I want to see... So, PSK and Sexy watching their HP. So Sexy Cake took maybe like 15-20 damage. That's it. That's the amount of damage that two people of Space Station could give when their main threat was coming from was repelling in through a door. And that makes no sense. And now Chala isn't even looking over there. He literally just ran off somewhere else. No Nitro Cell from Thinking Nade, nor from Chala. There wasn't a single Nitro Cell kill, so that's questionable. And he just gets gunned down from one of the angles. But I don't understand how two people are invested below with Nitro Cells, are given no pressure, and can do nothing about people repelling in through the two windows which have been in the game for 4 years now. That makes no sense to me. I want to see what timeout was called. Okay, so Space Station. Hey, hold on. Oh, that's better. Anyway, Space Station has now elected to go below. Now, they got killed twice in a row here. Well, actually, they didn't get killed. They just couldn't stop the bomb plant. Which is kind of strange considering they... It's strange considering that they have a lot of utility to stop it. So, let's look what they're... Now, let's look at the attackers first. So, they dropped Dokkaebi and they're bringing the... Where did they drop? They dropped Dokkaebi and are bringing the Jackal. I think that's the only difference. Can't remember if they ran... Yeah, I think they ran Maverick last round, but... Based off of this... So then, I look at Space Station, and this confuses me. They dropped the Bandit and brought a Cade. Well... That's terrible. So Thatcher is instantly going to counter the Cades and the Mutes. And if you... Yeah, so that's going to get countered. And the mute jammers aren't going to really do anything. You can get one to protect the hatch, but if you just maverick a little kill hole into it, you can shoot the jammer because it's going to be somewhere on this table and you can get an easy angle on that. So you have that, and then combine that with the fact that the maverick can open up two of the hatches. Well, I don't see the purpose in the Cade. It looks like a wasted pick to me. That could go somewhere else. That could go to a Jaeger to stop the smokes, to stop the grenades, to stop the flashbangs, to stop any of that, to protect the Maestro camps. It could go to to a dock, so that you can protect the so you can bring a bulletproof camera. It could go to a bandit, so that you can just bring another nitro cell and a good gun. So I'm not understanding the pick. I'm really not. It could go to a Legion. You can try and do a little bit of a roam game, slow people down a bit. But I'm just not seeing anything. This seems like a wasted pick.
More aggressive, but doing it in the proper sense. You need to see Space Station play a team game off-site and not be afraid to take these team fights against Team Liquid.
Now, same reinforcements are coming down, and those really aren't going to change.
Bring the firefight to them, but Team Liquid's coming out on top. Space Station really not prepared. Space Station's trying to play more of the utility game, trying to delay it as long as possible, and they're getting picked off early for that. Rampy was the only one to try and make an aggressive play the last time that they were upstairs. They go back downstairs now, and this is going to be the third time of them trying that. But that last round where you saw Rampy trying to make that aggressive play, Liquid was ready for that. They know your guys' play style. You have three of the best fraggers inside of North America, all on the same team, man. They're expecting you guys to try and do this. Try and do it in a better sense where you're playing that refrag. Your guys' play style. You have three of the best fraggers inside of North America, all on the same team, man. They're expecting you guys to try and do this.
Space Station does not have three of the best fraggers in North America on their team. They have Rampy, and that's really their main fragger. Now, Fultz I can't say much about because he is new. He just can't. He was in Challenger League, lost in the playoffs. I don't know if he got screwed over where he was either top one or two teams and they didn't make it because of the stupid playoffs that Challenger League does. But I can't really say much about him, but Chala, Rampy, and Thinking Nade. No, not Rampy. Chala, Bosco, and Thinking Nade. With, I think, maybe not Bosco, but with those two, Chala and Thinking Nade, they have two of the worst stats in North America. So where the caster's getting three from, I don't know.
Let their guns step up and go.
Exactly.
Like if the toxic bangs weren't working, then it's like, okay, what's next? Rest is gonna get a 2K and they're gonna win the round.
Yeah, and even on that last round, Nazca legitimately just walked in the site. Yeah, no one had any information on it. They had dead people on site.
Alright, so right now Liquid knows somebody is inside a tower.
Yeah, again, that's the thing that I want to reinstate.
And Liquid, they've changed up their push.
Your job is
Where Nesca's now attacking the big tower.
cams, tell me exactly what's going on. I need that information to make this round happen. Space Shade,
Now, okay, so this is why it's confusing. If you want to do a back push where you come from tower, you must take tower. That makes sense. However, if right now Sexy Cake's out here in the front, and I see Nesca's by himself, so at that point he's not doing anything over there. Maybe my only thought is maybe Ness was just going for an early pick, however, where he holds the pixel, which he did. However, I'm not sure if that's what his goal was, and I'm confused with his positioning.
and more than likely, they just didn't have any information. That main stairs cam was probably out.
Now, one thing I will say is this is the third time this meeting hold has been brought up. It's worked once where a bandit trick came out. However, after that, it did not work. So I'm not sure why Space Station is showing the exact same setup for a third time in a row with almost no change as far as I'm aware.
Came from. So he walked right up main, was able to claim both lives inside of the main area of the kids' dorm rooms, and just had free reign over the site. Team Liquid gets a plant down, a 4 versus 1, and that's really all she wrote. Bolt's gonna try and Rotilla Electro Claw the hatch at the proper time, but it's gonna be very difficult as unless you throw right now, it's over. It doesn't matter.
Is this type of defensive setup actually common?
Okay.
I don't know how. One, you really cannot trick with the Cades Now, it is somewhat possible if you can time it really, get really lucky in the timing. However, a lot of the time it will not happen. So it's not something you can rely on. And what's and so I'm confused as to what exactly their thoughts with it is. I can understand maybe if they wanted to have a mute jammer there, and then they wait for a Thatcher throw, and then after the Thatcher goes, then they use it. Or if they use one there already, forces the Thatcher, then the Thermite uses his charge, and then you throw your second one directly after the Thatcher goes off. Maybe. However, it's really not going to work. And I just want to say good job on PSK for recognizing that there might be someone, the Maverick might be doing that stuff. He might be tricking. So him saving that charge is actually really big.
For doing here. So what they did is they put a mute downstairs on the island to mute the hatch. So as he puts it down, he goes, "Oh, it's not working." And what they're trying to do is they're trying to bait that Thermite into running away and then clicking it as he goes for another hatch. And then they
Oh my god, this is terrible. Okay. So, few things. So, if you're going to Electro Claw trick, you want to have more than one Electro Claw. That means you don't want to have to run to the other side of the site, pick one up, and then go back. At that point, just put a mute jammer down and wait for them to come from that direction, and then throw your Electro Claw. However, because Fultz had put down his second Electro Claw already, he had to run there, waste time, try and go back, and now the wall gets opened. And now I don't know what the fuck this is, but Bosco is just decides, you know what, you just open this wall, and I know for a fact that there is no chance that somebody could be right here holding an angle where I see 1, 2, 3, 4 people, possibly even a fifth, all who could potentially be peeking this hatch, and decides that he wants to reinforce. Then Rampy gets gunned. Goodbye Maestro. Best gun on Space Station, both player-wise and operator-wise, is now dead. The second mirror now comes down. And nothing's changed.
Rampy going now, I mean, the utilization of the equalizer is going to be not as effective as if he was alive. Yes, he's going to be able to fuel, but he's not going to be able to shoot anything with him. So that's going to be a big blow towards Space Station Gaming.
He's going to be able to help out Bosco a lot, though, if they are in the proper areas. I'm hoping to God that he did move them before he died, because nobody can move them now. That's another thing. If he placed them down and didn't move the camp, you aren't able to move them while you're dead either. So very, very difficult for him. But Liquid seem poised to get this diffuser down. If they delay any longer, Bosco can win this outright.
So here's the thing. Grenades were thrown to get rid of Rampy's Maestro camps. Well, a grenade has to travel in the air. And if a grenade is in the air, it can be hit by a Jaeger device. So wouldn't it have made more sense to bring a Jaeger instead of the Cade and protect those Maestro cams so they can tell you exactly what's going on? Because right now the Maestro cams were destroyed, so his utility is useless, his gun was useless. So, in all honesty, Rampy was useless this round, so 4v5. Then Cade, his utility was useless as well because they're running a Thatcher and a Maverick. So let's see if his gun can get a kill. But really, Space Station just isn't setting themselves up to win.
Smoke off the entire room. Bosco backing up to try and get a little bit more vision. He's going to talk as a toxic babe, and it is going to hit its mark. That's a big deal, but we are going to see some aggression downstairs. There's a gentleman in the hall.
Now, how Bosco actually managed to kill PSK with that, I don't know. I think that's just bad on PSK. Then Nesk is literally just saying, fuck it, I'm going to run into sight at this point. I think that this is Nesk right here, and you see him run. You see him cross, and the fact that he can cross like that is ridiculous. Because saying that you literally, the attackers can literally just run around in sight with no contestation that's just ridiculous, because somebody needs to be able to contest that. Somebody should be in this hallway ready for somebody to maybe drop hatch and push, or to peek the bomb planter or something. And the fact that Ness can just drop is ridiculous. Then Sexy Cake gets a kill. So Sexy Cake comes from behind with Nesk because nobody's watching it, and you know, it'd be great if they had a mirror window there that they could use instead of literally putting one down and then just opening it up every time. Because I mean, that's really not doing much. It's not. And imagine if the defenders had somebody playing in the hallway, smoke here, a mirror window here just for someone to play it, and then I don't even know where Fultz is at this point, but someone, you know, just playing in the box area over behind where Nesk is. Well, now Nesk tries to run in, gets gunned down, smoke can still smoke, any flank can be taken care of by this guy and by the guy who's playing by the box. They know somebody's flanking because they have a damn mirror window there. So wouldn't that make more sense than investing 2 mirror windows, neither one of which is actually doing something, the second one which is just being opened up every single time? And here's the thing, if you're so worried about grenades, bring up freaking Thatcher. Because right now, the Maestro, like, I want to actually go over this. So Bosco, he's doing good with his utility. He really is. He's using his utility correctly. He's using his utility correctly. He's trying his best. He's getting smoke canister kills. He's literally killing people with these smoke canisters. And that's something that doesn't happen a lot of the time. Chala, well, based on this strategy, roughly half of his utility is actually being used. And that actually goes down to a third of it because his nitro cells really aren't being that useful for the team. Then Fultz, no utility there, so useless on the utility. I mean, it is. There's no purpose in bringing there's no purpose in bringing him because his Cades aren't doing anything. And what is it? Do you need barbed wire? Well, a lot of operators have barbed wire. Do you need the impacts? You got a shotgun, you got impacts, you have another shotgun, probably a third shotgun. So you got 3 shotguns, but you need the impacts, or you need the barbed wire, but somehow Ness can just walk through the site and nobody hears it, and no barbed wire, no nothing. So really, Bosco's using his utility. Chala's using about half of it. Fultz's utility is not being useful. No Jaeger device to protect the Maestro cam, so no, his utility is useless. And there's a Maverick and a Thatcher, so Mute's utility is useless. Literally, of the possible 100% of utility that's being used, Space Station is using roughly 30% of it. Because, I mean, it is what it is. They're Cades, they're not being useful. Maestro's not useful. Mute's not useful. Smoke, yeah, that's really fucking useful. And I'm confused as to their operator selection and their overall setup when literally 30% of their utility is being useful. Now, yes, you can argue the mirror window is... Well, here's the thing. The double mirror window setup is there to help protect against grenades, as far as I'm aware. However, nobody is throwing grenades into there. They want to destroy those Maestro cams with them. And, once again, why not just bring a Jaeger? You can protect the Maestros and the person in there, and you don't have to waste a mirror window. Well, Kojo, maybe they get burned by flashbangs. Well, great. There's flashbangs that aren't going to be used. And after that, well, you have to cook a grenade for 5 seconds. So if you have to cook a grenade, you can peek. And yes, it's dangerous, but they expose themselves to throw that grenade. So you have options, and you have a better chance. But instead, this is the 3rd time Space Station has done this strategy. And this is the 3rd time it has not worked. And it's actually ridiculous. And I want to actually see something. Okay, no, so Echo was banned by Liquid, so that's good, because if Space Station had access to Echo. If they banned Echo here, I would really be questioning them because this is the point. This looks like they need an Echo. It really does.
Big deal, but we are going to see some aggression downstairs. There's a gentleman in the hallway.
Anyway, Sexy and Nesk literally just walk in, and they're not ready for this. Nesk literally gets shot from Sexy because neither one is ready for them.
It's going to be Nesk. Is Nesk actually going to get shot from his teammate? Bosco's going to die, and the Bosco's actually, no, he's rotated out. He's going to end
Now, Fultz gets a kill, but then Paula refrags and Sexy Cake also. So,
This man is Houdini. He just disappeared into the night. But it's not going to matter. Liquid, 4.
this is just...
But he's up again. One of my favorite
Space Station's trying to do a setup that legitimately looks like it's from almost a Challenger League team.
players in the game, and it's for stuff like this.
Like, this is the stuff that I would kind of expect in Ranked, and it's not something I would expect here because it's not working, and it took them 3 rounds in a row to figure out it's not working. And it really just doesn't make sense. Now they're going upstairs again, and their whole issue was last round their whole issue was they didn't have the information to actively contest the planter. So why not bring a pulse? Because I don't think this mute's doing much. I don't think Liquid is droning at all. And I think they're just literally walking in, taking gunfights and saying, we're better than you. And it's kind of showing. But I just don't think the mute's doing much. So when I bring a pulse, figure out where the enemy is, nitro cell the fuck out of them because you have 2 people playing from below. You're investing reinforcements below. So why not do that? Because, so think about this. Why not drop the mute, bring a pulse, drop the dock, and bring a lesion? So here's the thoughts. If you drop the lesion, if you drop the mute, you bring pulse. You put pulse around this general area, and you wait for them to go to repel in and for them to go for a plant. Well, once they're doing that, you nitro cell them. They're now going to be worried about a nitro cell from below, which will buy your team time. It'll apply some pressure, and you can help your team because if you know that 2 people are repelling out here, that's 2 people that can't be somewhere else. If you know there's 3 out here, that's 3 people. If you know only 1 is out here, then okay, there's only 1. If nobody's out here, then you can say no pressure on these windows, worry about other shit. So you can do a lot with that, and you're going to do more than what this mute's doing. And then if you drop the dock for a lesion, well, why not throw a lesion? Just throw 1 there and 1 there, because you get 2 by the time that the round starts. And then the people playing kitchen don't have to worry about a flank, or don't have to worry about as much of a flank coming from there or through something like this. And they're going to know if somebody tries to push in like this or like this. So, and then, so why not just do that? Wouldn't that make more sense than bringing the dock, an operator you bring to win gunfights, and who, when you are going up against literally one of the best gunfighters in the game, who's I don't think has died so far, and is something like 7 or 8-0 at this point. So I don't think it's the gunfights you're going to be winning. You bring operators who can win gunfights when you're dominantly better mechanically and a little bit, basically mechanically and teamwork wise. When you don't have those 2 things, you bring support operators and utility based operators, so you don't have to take the gunfights and you can beat them with strategy. Thinking, hey, what are you doing? Alright, so let's see if Rampy dies within 20 seconds again. Thinking Nade ran to small tower, I don't know why. You know, based on the Is this just a rush?
Oh my.
Okay. Let me. So let's go back 10 seconds.
Not scoreline wise, they just didn't plant the bomb this time. They will put that diffuser down.
So
But
door gets shot open.
as they chose to go with the lead instead of the plan is.
Remember that guy? Hold on, I'm trying to see whether or not I can see the doc's reaction to this door getting opened. I think I can. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, Fultz knows this door is open. He's looking there. He's ready for this. So you brought this guy onto your team because you need better gunfighters. You brought this doc because you think that you can win the gunfight against fucking Nesk. And you say, give me this gunfight. I will take it. And hold up. Let's see whether or not he knows about this drone. So Sexy's drone is on the stairs and Fultz doesn't give a shit. So, I want to see whether or not he actually sees this drone. I can't tell. Well, Sexy knows his positioning. Paula, they know it. Fultz loses the gunfight. Imagine if you had put barbed wire on those stairs. Imagine if you had a legion trap on those stairs. Imagine if you had made the call out, hey, they're rushing. Imagine if instead of trying to take a gunfight, you had fallen back and said, okay, guys are rushing, I need help. You fall back, you had a crossfire going, and now you're good. So that was just a bad play from Fultz. And Liquid is just literally running over them.
Paula up the stairs in less than 20 seconds. They've already claimed the life of Fultz at the top of main. I don't even think that man was ready for what was about to come up those main stairs. They had not one, but two ops pushing those staircases. And again, the MP5 might be really good with its ACOG, but against two operators both barreling down on you at the top of main, there's not going to win that.
And I'm really surprised by Team Liquid. Like, able to get in the side almost immediately and able to get a kill on most who's going to be utilized and die. So, taking out an operator with an ACOG.
Sam, Liquid is working so fast for this map. I've talked about this before, not on broadcast too often, but at least on podcast and thing along those lines. Speed kills in this game. If you are able to work quickly and efficiently, that's the thing. You know, a lot of people go, oh yeah, aggression is the best thing in this game. Controlled aggression is the best thing in this game. If you know exactly what you're going to do with an execute, and you're able to get walls open, get kills, and under that 2-minute margin, that's insanity. We are just about at halfway through. They already have Master open, and also Fultz has already been killed.
I mean, can that be a big from Team Liquid's strength? The fact that Brazilians have such aggressive play style.
I can't tell if the wall is open or not. I'm trying to figure out.
Go watch the Mocket game from SI. Mocket versus Liquid. This is a completely different team. They're fast, they're efficient, and they are deadly. It's like surgery out here on Oregon right now. They are just making this.
Alright, why? Wait, so I know that. So Thinking Nate is trying to go for a flank right now through small tower. However, this is almost ridiculous in the overall idea. So, Liquid rushes up the main stairs, which tells me they're coming from Armory. They're set up everything for an Armory take. Now, this is 30 seconds ago, it's old information, doesn't matter. But based off of that, I'm going to assume they're going to go for an Armory take if their first thing to do is rush up the Armory stairs. So, with that, why Thinking Nate is, one, deciding that he should go for a flank on the big window. Because you can't... Because, one, the push isn't even coming from there. Two, there's going to be a flank drone or something that's going to be ready for that if they are pushing. So, I don't... And then three, he's playing below with a nitro cell, and if they can effectively play below with the nitro cells, that's 2 kills, and they can help their team. Okay, wall is open.
Space Station guys. I mean, you gotta call it what it is. Yeah, you gotta call it what it is. I mean, that's what I get paid the big bucks to do this. Let me tell you.
So Space Station Gaming is pretty hard to pretty much gain momentum and put your feet on the ground with Team Liquid. They're
So Smoke's flashbangs come out. So Smoke smokes the. So Smoke smokes. Yeah, I mean, good on him. He's reacting correctly. He's ready for that push to come, and then he is denying it with his smoke canisters.
Almost immediately, Pollock's gonna be able to get Rampy out of the game. Leaving Team Liquid in a very
Like, I don't know what the point of that night. I mean, I don't know what the purpose of that shotgun blast was. I'm hoping it was just a misclick because all that does is give away your position.
5v3. Smoke's going out. The C4 has been shot by PSK, and the diffuser will now go down. It's deconated.
All right, so wasted nitro cell. 2 people are alive. Rampy gets gunned on the flank. So, okay.
Team Liquid in a very comfortable position in the 5v3. Smoke's going out. The C4 has been shot by PSK, and the
Chala messes up the nitro cell.
diffuser will now go down. It's
Bomb comes down. No pressure from below.
There is no.
Chala gets gunned, and Bosco also gets gunned. Okay.
If you guys saw, if you guys were paying attention underneath, Liquid slowed everything down. They got their initial pick. They got everything open that they wanted, so they could have the angles that they wanted. But not only that,
This is honestly just bullying at this point.
we have all of our people still alive. You know what that means? We're going to pinch sight. And not only that, Paula got the.
Yeah, I want to check something over on.
Frag again on site. So he kills Bolts initially.
Oh, that is
and
the
then
wrong
continues to
one.
tack on by taking Rampy out of the game, like you said. And then it's just easy for Liquid. Rotate the people to bottom stairs, making sure there's no safe haven in that site for SSG.
It's a cultural difference in play style once again. The last series that we saw, whenever the team were creeping one, it seemed like the most Outbreakers left development. They took their time and was able to win the round surely. Take a look at this game. They're smothered. They're
This
coming
is
from all
scary.
angles. Yeah.
This is scary. I actually ended up bumping into Bosco last night at that 24-hour store.
Okay, so I wanted to see where Space Station finished. They finished in 5th last season, and that surprises me a little bit. But then I remember that basically the top, really in all honesty, for North America, only the top 4 teams are really, I'd say, competitive enough to really be called like good teams. The rest are, I'd say, high Challenger League level teams. And right now, Space Station looks like a Challenger League level team. They look like a team that this is their first time going up against a Pro League team, and it looks almost to me like a ranked team going up against a ranked team going up against a Pro League team, because they're not adapting to anything. They're not they're not really changing anything, and then they're hoping that it's just okay. Yeah, if we take gunfights, we can win. Take gunfights, and it's not. It's not happening. They're not winning. Now I want to. Right, so upstairs again. Space Station has lost 5 of their 6 defensive rounds in a defensive sided meta.
We're ready for it. We're going to Championship Sunday. And look, I love Bosco, but buddy, I gotta call it like it is. You're not holding your word to me right now. That's what I was hoping for, and you're not.
Bosco is holding his worth. He's the only one really denying any form of plants. So, yeah, he is. Now, one thing I'm going to say is I don't understand why this is shotgunned out, but this isn't, when this is just as important as this one. If not, this one is even more important, because here it's a lot easier. You can just swing out here and contest it. But with this one, if you can't play in there, which is one reason why I was questioning Foltz was in there on the first round of their upstairs defense, because this window exists. And so if you lose control of this, you have to be able to contest this window. Now you can contest this one from here. You can't contest this one from here effectively, because you have to expose yourself a bit more to this window. And it's just not the same angle. So, I don't know. Alright, so changes were made. So Foltz is now in Legion. Okay, great. That is actually something I wanted. And it's great he's going him. Problem is, it took 5 rounds of getting slapped by Nesk to go him. However, nothing else has changed. Nothing at all. That makes no sense. 4 of these operators have been the same, and yet nothing has changed really. and they dropped a dock for Elysian. Okay, what massive change is that going to make to your overall strategy? To me, it looks like Space Station has one strategy, and they have no idea how to actually answer that. They have no idea how to answer it when that strategy does not work.
Oh, we're gonna have a glass. We haven't seen that yet today. Or
And yes, there's a glass,
all during the tournament.
and let's just see what happens, because I mean, Glaz is a bullshit operator. He's very strong, and he's an entry fragger.
Space Station Gaming can get swept on very first match.
It's almost like they're not expecting it, and Team Liquid's done it 5 times in a row. That's my thing. You know, SSG really hasn't made an adjustment to try and slow.
This is the amount of disrespect that's coming out. Nesk is literally just crouch walking into the tower.
Like Team Liquid does.
He's literally saying y'all can't do shit.
All the way at the
Now he does say, okay, they know I'm here. Shoot the cam, get out. No point in wasting my life.
a very educated player, but when they're doing a map take like this, you really want barbed wire, you really want as much information around the map in order to try and battle back, because Liquid is going for overall map control. They're going to try and shut down your rotates. They want to make it to where anyone that tries to rotate off a site late is not in a good spot. And right now they're doing such a damn good job of it. I really don't know how Space Station is going to get around this unless they try and counteract with some sort of rush denial, which those are going to be your operators like what Pulse is playing right now. You're going to have the Legion. You always have the guy on site, Oscar, with the smoke, but that's really only for on site. If you want some stuff to try and prevent a little bit better, bring that Ala, bring some stuff that makes it harder for Team Liquid to traverse.
Nesk knows his shit. I mean, that was a perfect grenade.
Somebody's in big tower, but he's not sure where he's throwing a frag grenade. And able to connect with anything at all as the player was on the upper level of that. So Team Liquid still roaming out, looking to see where all the operators are. But you're gonna have to credit Team Liquid. And able to connect.
Now imagine for a second if Space Station reinforced this wall and threw a mirror window on it. Well, if they can control Attic and they put someone over an armory, then they can theoretically control Master. And if they can control Master, that can slow down the push a lot, especially if it's a Master push. Just a thought.
On the upper level of that. So Team Liquid still roaming out, looking to see where all the operators are. But you're gonna have to credit Team Liquid once again with the recent team change. Coming in from the team, everybody was pretty confused. No one expected that to happen. It's been so much well, and Team Liquid are so much better.
Alright, here's something I disagree with. So Rampy is in T3. However, a minute and a half has passed and there's been almost no contestation except by Nesk. That tells me that the push isn't going to be coming from Tower, and it's instead going to be coming probably from Master. So at that point, well, right now, based on the callouts, it can come from either Master or from Big Window. At that point, your team is going to be calling out which one. Well, if there's contention on the double windows and on the big window, there's a lot of contention, and they're trying to clear out below, then they're going for a main window. If they're not, then it's probably going to be a Master. Well, if it's a Master, then why not? Then you're going to need to, Rampy should be flanking down to Attic to start getting a crossfire set up, so that if they do push, they can hurt Liquid.
Pretty confused. No one expected that to happen.
And hold up.
You're gonna have to credit Team Liquid once again with
So thinking, let's actually see.
upper level of that. So Team Liquid.
So 3 people of Liquid were just droning there. 10 out of 10 mute jammers. Yeah, I'm serious. You have 3 people can drone, even if there are mute jammers, and they're saying yes, we have the ability to drone. Then your mute jammers aren't really doing much.
Upper level of that. So Team Liquid still roaming out, looking to see where all the operators are. But you're gonna have to credit Team Liquid once again with the recent team change. Bring this been such a great thing as well. Coming in from the team, everybody was pretty good.
Now I'm really hoping that there's a Jaeger device up here, because if not, that is a mistake. Because you cannot. It is so easy to just hop in through the window down here, chunk a nade, have it bounce off of here and land roughly about here. And if there is no Jaeger device, then this person is dead. You need a Jaeger device up here, and I hope they have one. Chala's playing below white stairs though, so he's helping Fultz out. That's good and bad. You know, I'll say it's good for now because he's backing up his teammates, but he's also in a position where he can rotate to he can do a lot. He can either rotate this way, go behind him, go through the bathroom, back to kitchen. So he has options. And he's backing up Thinking Nate in kitchen and Legion on the stairs. However, one thing I will say is, I'll just wait and see what happens. Because based on what's going on, I'm expecting a master take, an armory master take. And right now, Thinking Nate, Fultz, and Chala are all set up for a big window take. Bosco's peeking things he probably shouldn't be. Nest is just waiting for Rampy. Liquid doesn't give two shits about Attic. And that's just bad on space stations. Now Bosco goes down. That's not good. However, yeah, I mean it's not good from Bosco. Don't understand what happened there. Let's see. Most likely, Smoke Hands just came out. He peeked a little bit too far, and he got gunned down by Glaz. No, Moringa kills Bosco. Okay, everybody dies. Okay. So Bosco gets dropped by Moringa, the Thatcher, who has the diffuser. Okay. Nesk walks in downstairs and kills Thinking Nade. At this point, why is Thinking Nade even downstairs? He's done literally nothing there. Fultz then gets gunned, and not even sure where he is. So Fultz is on top of white stairs and just waits for the Glaz to peek through smoke to kill him. Okay. Rampy gets a kill. Alright. Oh, that was a nice angle. This is a nice angle. Now how the diffuser isn't down, I don't know, but it isn't. However, one person alive, it's 1v3. Probably not gonna win it, but let's see.
If it's all left up to Charlie, he's gonna find a very nice shot on the sexy cake, but I believe it's not going to work out. Still 3 people to find. They don't have the diffuser though. They are gonna have to rotate and get that. And Team Liquid playing the objective game. They're not trying to hunt for this kill. They're trying to get the diffuser. They're trying to.
So one thing I'll say is I don't understand why Chala is above when he was below and his job was to be playing vertically, and now he's suddenly stuck against kids. I'm just saying, that seems strange.
And Team Liquid still set up for refrag potential here. You have 2 people over inside of the white bunks area. Chala's all on his lonesome inside of Kid's dorm. You have the cross being held by Paula. So right when Chala tries to cross,
Nitro Cell.
free kill for Paula. Nitro Cell gonna come out, but it's not going to fall.
Bad Nitro Cell.
PSK now has the sickness. Here it comes. Paula.
And that was a bad push from Chala. He should have. Yeah, bad Nitro Cell. The thing is, he's sprinting right now. He's literally sprinting. Imagine just for a second if he came in with his gun up, possibly kills him, and then maybe, just maybe the Maverick potatoes, and he manages to get away, or he manages to go back. There's at least a chance there. Right now, there's no chance. Anyway, he has gun, but it was a 1v4. Probably not going to happen anyway, so. Alright, so scoreboard. So I'm just gonna say, Space Station should not be taking gunfights. Based on the fact that 2 people of Liquid have not died, they should not be taking fucking gunfights. Especially considering the top fragger of Space Station is the Smoke. Like, you've had a Doc, a Legion, a Jaeger. You've had all of these, and nothing's happening. I mean, this just is not good. I don't like Rampy. I don't know he's just getting shut down every time he goes for a flank, and he should have recognized that, but he's 1-6 and he didn't. So I don't know. I don't understand that. Thinking Nade 0-6. I mean, right now, to me, it looks like Space Station wants to take gunfights, but can't win the gunfights. And that's the story of it. I mean, that's what I'm seeing. This looks to me like Space Station walked in here with the attitude that they were just as good as a Liquid, if not better. No, they walked in with as if they were better than Liquid. Said, we will take these gunfights and we will win. Well, no, you didn't.
In the crowd right now, how many
And I mean, the thing is, Oregon's not a new map. This is nothing special coming out from Liquid. This is just really bad from Space Station. They're showing they can't adapt to what Liquid is doing, and Liquid is just walking in and shooting people. Anyway, sides have flipped, and let's see. And it is a lich. Okay, so the one change that Liquid is doing on their basement defense is instead of I want to say a Doc, they're bringing a Jaeger. Can't remember who the 5th was. I really can't. I know they brought Cade, so either a Doc or a Cade. I know Cade, but I can't remember if Doc was one. Anyway, they're not bringing a Jaeger. So now they can protect those Maestro cams. They can protect from grenades. And they're probably going to get burned, but at least they're trying. At least they're going to be burning utility instead of just saying, yeah, have it for free. Then Space Station, they're bringing Hibana, which tells me they're going for hatches. They're going for the hatch game. Then they're bringing Zofia. Nothing really special. Basically a more utility-based dash. Then Fultz is on Jackal. Really good gun. Has smoke grenades. And can help on the roam clear. So, makes sense. Rampy's on Buck. So, grenades and can play vertically if they take control of if they take below the upstairs, and then thinking Nate on Thatcher because Kate is still in play as is mute, so you have to worry about those.
Looks like we're in an NA. We're in an NA. I really want to see it. We got the line. There we go. A little delayed. I guess we're a little delayed. There we go. Okay, I was like, whoa.
Well, we don't got any noise in the house.
Team Liquid, we got some noise. We got some noise from the boys down
Right.
in front. I see you. Okay. Well, 6-0 currently for Team Liquid. I know a couple of really good friends that are going to be happy about that. But for me, I mean, we are on NA soil. I'm an NA boy myself.
Alright, so Mira's putting her mirror window down. They can now see all of this.
It's in my blood and soul.
So now nobody can just walk in from behind, and if they do try, like Neska's literally going for a spawn kill right now. There's no respect. Reinforcement. Open, not reinforce, which is a mistake. If you want NA to do well, invite reciprocity. I'm not sure invite evil geniuses. I don't know why they actually didn't. It seems strange. But it is what it is.
This is SSG's time, baby. This is it. But Team Liquid just showing them up right now in every sense of the word. I mean,
Alright, so roam clear coming out from Space Station, and they're doing it a bit slower than Liquid did. What the hell is Moringa doing? I don't know what the hell this smoke was doing. It makes no. I can't say anything. Maybe he was just saying, "Yeah, don't never expect me hiding on the stairs with my shotty. They're gonna run in through this door." No, didn't work. Oh, wait, now he's dead. And that's a smoke. I don't know. If you have a fucking mute, why not play mute on the stairs? Because even if he dies, at least you still have smoke. Like, come on. If you're gonna be throwing away bodies, at least throw away the right body. Okay, that was good. Rampy recognized that he was exposing himself to the angle from the stairs, so he wouldn't have been safe if he had stayed there. So he got off of his drone right as he got on it to move and then got back on it. That was good from him. So Neska's been found. Alright, Thatcher and Hibonic charges coming out to clear people out of meeting.
I love the space station, guys. The entire community that organization has built, as well as the players. Some fantastic gentlemen on that SSG roster, but I'm feeling like my pick from earlier is just not gonna happen.
Yeah, because we might be wrong right here. Team Liquid can go ahead and close it out. Now reaching out to the 1 minute mark. PSK utilizing mirror, making sure that he's watching the A-bomb site momentarily. He's not getting much threat coming from stairs. But space station.
Nesk has no fear right now. I mean, but they were ready for that. They were. I mean, Rampy was holding. I think it was a crossfire kind. I think they were just waiting for Nesk to do something. And this is kind of the aggression from Latin America that. Okay, yeah, there was a crossfire from the top of stairs and from the bottom. And it's good that actually, I'd say it's good that the person on the bottom of the stairs reckons that there was someone even further below, so he just has to hold this meeting flank. I like that they recognize that. Now, one thing I will note is that there was no reason for Nesk to peek this. If he just stayed still, he could have wasted time and then gone for a flank once Space Station was worried about getting the bomb down, rather than them just having to hold an angle and he walks into it. Really, that was almost 2 free kills given to Space Station. Now, Smoke is dead. Somehow there's no Nitro Cell coming out. Somehow with the Maestro cams, there were 2 Nitro Cells and a Maestro cam. I don't understand how there is no contestation for this plan. Now, I want to actually see something with a mirror window. It might answer my question.
Moringa had to hit that flick, and hitting the flick is one thing, but making it slide through those bars is another, and that's not going to happen. So
show me the mirror. Show me PSK. So Mira's playing the mirror window, which tells me okay. Ooh, that might be a mistake. I don't know if the wall has been opened up properly to allow for a Nitro Cell to be thrown. It is the only possible reason that there was no Nitro Cell being thrown. And that's something which the Mira has to recognize, because and she has a shotgun to do it. So that's bad on the Mira. Actually, it looks like it might be able to, but I'm not sure. The issue is that if it's a might, then it's probably a no. Yeah, I think the Nitro Cell got caught. Okay, well, it's over. And basically, this was down to. Basically, it was a 3v5 because two members of Liquid threw away their lives. And then there was. I think the Mira messed up and couldn't get her Nitro cell out. And due to that, Space Station won. And really, there's nothing really to see there. Okay, so. Alright. I hate this fucking Cade pick. I hate it on both teams. I hate it when teams pick Cade and there's a Thatcher. Because there's no purpose of it. They're going to get Thatchered off. I mean, really, what? Right now, Thatcher is worrying about getting rid of those two Cades. So all he has, and he has 3 Thatchers to do that. Well, great. Thatcher's gonna do his job. Cade's gonna be useless, and that's the way it's gonna be. So I hate that pick. Next, Smoke. Okay, so Smoke. Okay, so Cade I hate. Everybody else makes sense. Then Fultz changed from Jackal to Dokkaebi, just like how Liquid did, and I don't know why. Maybe he prefers Dokkaebi. Maybe they want to just phone call people instead of track. He probably didn't get. I don't think he got. No, he probably got footprints, but I can't. There's probably some reason. Maybe he just remembered seeing Astro absolutely destroy people on Oregon with the C-75, so he's saying, wait, so if I go Dokkaebi, I can do it. And just like every player that has ever switched to Shroud sensitivity, thinking it works for Shroud, so it'll work for me, and then they get domed, and then they wonder why they have a 0.2 KD. Now that's definitely not the reason why he's not thinking. I saw Astro do this once. Alright, so floor gets open, so you can't plant there. However, this is kind of a weird spot to open because normally you're gonna either plant there or there. So, I mean, splitting the difference doesn't work for kill holes. This gets open, so this is probably gonna get reinforced. This is being reinforced, which is strange that the Mira's doing it because normally it's more important for someone else to. Alright, barbed wire coming out, unlike Space Station, so you can't just walk in. I like it. Everybody spawn... No, 4 people spawn over by the northeast. Northeast. Which tells me that's going to be a tower take. Except Fultz, who's probably just going to apply pressure on the main window. Alright, so spare Electro Claw, don't see why, but okay. Space Station has now taken control of tower, and attic will be opened. And there you go. Here's a great mirror window. If Space Station had a smoke playing here by this mirror window, and they could just smoke every time that Liquid tried to go for a plant, and if all they had to do was contest was to aim, press C, click once, press C again, and then they're in cover, then that could be huge. So yeah, I like this mirror window. I love it. Yes, it can get shot from below, but because you're playing below, you don't have to worry about that. Put Jaeger devices down, like right here. This is... Liquid is doing roughly 90% of the same setup that Space Station is doing, but that 10% is making a difference. Well, that 10% is, in my opinion, a big difference. Right, good from both teams. So basically, so Bosco checks for ADS. Thatcher's above. Frag grenade comes out, hits off the top of here, falls down. However, Mira recognizes that and gets out, but she's at 10 HP. Now, one thing is that this right window isn't opened, and I think that's bad because that gives the Mira the ability to play around this entire area rather than just being forced to play here. If this was opened, you can't be playing here because you can get shot from the window. So this is really your only safe place, at which point if you're 100% there, then you throw a nade. Another nade comes out. Yeah, it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. You don't want to give up kids, but you don't want to give up kids. However, you also don't want to stay in kids to just die. And Fultz kills Paula. Don't know how. So I like how that person's playing passive. However, I don't like how he lets this Jaeger just run up, hit the window, look out it to see if he can kill any of his buddies, and then just run away. Yeah, that's not good. That's a no-no. And then Space Station just repels in, and because of the sound, I'm going to assume that Moringa just didn't hear it. And when he tried to... I'm assuming he just didn't hear it. And he just gets gunned down. The thing is, I can't remember how everybody actually dies. So PSK gets naded. Okay, so Fultz kills Nesk. I have no idea where that was. I'm going to... I don't know. I'm assuming it was from a flank coming from small tower. Okay, no. That was from below. Here's Nesk. Here's Fultz. I want to say Fultz. Actually, I don't know. He's somewhere in the small tower bathroom area. Anyway, he gets a kill. And so I think basically Fultz was just on flank watch. So he was just watching the flank for small tower. And when Liquid for the flank, he just gunned them down. Fultz then gets a second kill. 2v5. Whoever this person is on tower, bad that he lets someone just hit this open and possibly gun his buddy. However, because of this call out, Space Station knew that it was clear, and I think they repel in right now. Utilities being used by Space Station. I like it. Phone call comes out because fuck this guy. Now it's a 1v5, so this is just dominant. So that was really just a good attack. Now Team Liquid said, okay, we've lost those two sites, so let's try going tower. Because tower is actually... I almost want to say tower is okay, so it's not really a good site, but it's not as god-awful as it could be. You just have to know, you have to be able to invest. You have to invest a lot in tower. You can't really be roaming, and if you try to roam, then they can just take tower. And that's the issue with it. A lot of players don't like sitting in there, but if you invest 2 people upstairs, then one or two people on the midsection. Well, actually, hold on. In T3, the very top of it, you invest 1 or 2 people. You then invest 1 or 2 people in T2. Then you invest somebody in attic so that they can contest meeting, and then you put someone in meeting so they can contest the other bomb site. And from there, you have to hold kind of like that, but it's actually in my opinion, is actually pretty defensible. It's just a pain.
Just makes it happen. And I really like where SSG has Fultz right now. They have him more of a flex role. If you guys have recognized
Now, Liquid is bringing... Okay.
away.
So... Yeah, I don't like this. So... Maestro, I can understand. Smoke, I can understand. Vigil, I really can't. I think there's someone better you can bring. Because although you can stop people from droning you for a little while... They can assume where you are and just nade you. So there's not many places you actually can hold, especially in T3. So with that, I think that'd be better to drop him for a dock, because then you can heal your teammates, because you're going to be getting into a lot of gunfights here.
From that flex position, he's playing a lot of rock and just...
The Jaeger you need, and Frost I highly disagree with, because if the team... Basically, you can repel upside down on just about every window here, shoot the Frost map, and it's now useless.
along with his team, but now he's on...
And then no Dokubi, but there is a Jackal.
Why? Why would they put him on Thatcher? He's really good with guns. His aim's good. You're right, it is. That's something that Thatcher can do as well, though. Once you drop those EMPs, you're just a sledge without a hammer. Start taking it to the team and start trying to find those frags. Once your utility's gone, you're just another guy with a gun.
Yeah,
So,
I feel like Big and Eight is one of the guys where you want to put him in a position where, you know, there's no static out there.
exactly.
Because his favorite operator is Buck Marie. He
Yes.
loves to get in there, loves to put in damage, and get kills left and right. If you have another player...
Alright, so Space Station's going for a full-on roam clear,
Be him.
Yeah.
He's a professional for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. They're letting...
which makes a little bit of sense. I mean, it's not a hard thing to do, and by doing it, you don't have to worry, basically about this position from dining. You don't have to worry about being attacked from about a run out coming from dining when you're repelling on the top of tower.
how much damage you can do so quickly. I mean, the swap between the skeleton key and the actual...
Then also, the defenders can't really rotate. Everybody's on their own little island, and if you lose, you can't have the person from T3 come down to help somebody in meeting. So it you can get cut down and you can cut off pretty easily.
very minuscule. So you're able to pop up the wall and immediately shoot through it almost instantaneously, and you're going to catch a lot of people off guard with that.
Alright, so here goes the drone play. Team Liquid trying to make sure that roamers staying out of sight. Roamers aren't being filmed on Space Station game. Shaolin, I've been a hard breacher and the objective player.
I've been talking to you. I've been looking over at you. I did not even recognize out that we're on a tower hold yet. They're on tower, so this is going to be a little bit of a different thing. Again, trying to throw something at the wall, see if anything sticks here for Liquid, and it appears that it's going to be more of the same. You can handle this.
Nesk says, "Fight me."
How you handle the basement. You want to establish that presence inside of...
Tower is basically just everybody takes a gunfight and you hope to God you win.
Also, no, it's not. Well, actually, it's usually...
Bad peek. There's no reason to be peeking that. All he's doing is exposing himself to get shot.
So this is a lot of people's third sites, but they haven't won anywhere else yet. So they really are just reaching as far into that bag as possible and trying to make something happen. And right now it's delayed quite a bit of time. The big thing that stands out for me on this is Team Liquid brought Frost. If Space Station Gaming doesn't know that, they could
Ooh, I like that. Well, I kind of like it. So what happened there was, I think it was the smoke. A flashbang went above him, so he just dropped the hatch, fell down, ran back up tower stairs, and is now back in tower. Now, I kind of like that, kind of don't, because I like his reaction to it, that he said, okay, I'm being pressured, I don't need to take this fight at a minute, so I can just fall back. The problem is that the way he fell back, it exposes him to anybody holding an angle on the hatch below. So if he got a call out saying it was clear, then great. If not, then that was a risk that he took.
Pointing out base momentarily is Granby. He's trying to look into the garage, but you know where the bomb site is. You see somebody.
Very smart. Very, very smart. I apologize for interrupting you there. The EMP coming out from Thatcher of Thinking Nade. Paula actually saw that, and as soon as he saw it coming out...
Alright, so meeting hall's been taken, and that is trouble for Liquid.
because of the side of the evil eye being exposed and not obviously the slit that opens up. Paula, though,
So Paula kills Fultz.
rotated the camera so that Thinking Nade
So Fultz is in meeting. Okay, so an angle, I think Paula just shot down from here to where Fultz is, right behind the Hibana. Which is kind of why, as an attacker, I think that if you can take meeting and then you can take... Well, I think you have to take attic before you take meeting. That's just the way that I think you should do it, because with the hatch, if you don't take that, that puts whoever has the hatch in the upper position. So if you could take attic, even if it's just a kill hole, that can... Then right now Paula couldn't be playing that position because you get shot through the wall, and that could save Fultz's life and just hurt Liquid even more. Alright, so plant goes down. I'm trying to tell if that's a kill hole or a rotate hole. I can't tell. I think it's a kill hole. Anyway. Moringa then kills Bosco, so this is winnable. Let's see, let's go back a little bit. Paula dies. Bosco kills Nesk, who is the Frost playing on the bottom of the stairs. He probably tried to peek, go for the bomb planter, and got shut down by Bosco just holding an angle. Moringa then... Okay, one thing is, I'm going to say that was not a good peek from Thinking Nate. So, the moment you realize it's a Maestro, there's no purpose in taking this fight, especially with the bomb being down. Because, let's see, Bosco gets guns, so now it's a 4v3, so what happens... So he peeks again, but if he lost that gunfight there, then it's a 4v2, and then it's over. Because you're probably not going to win a 4v2. Even if it is tower. Now the next thing is, I hate Thinking Nate's position right now, because it's going to do absolutely positively nothing. Like, he has to get inside of attic and then get into meeting if he wants to actually contest this bomb. However, like, wouldn't it be better if, say, Chala had control of the door, Thinking Nate controlled the window, and then, if necessary, one could fall back and take the other one's position so they can switch if one dies. Right now, if Thinking Nate and Chala are both on their own little islands. Alright, so 2v1 now. And Rampy wins the fight.
Back and forth there, but some good utility usage by SSG will keep them in this game.
I'm stressed, Stokes. I'm stressed. Space Age game going down 06 against Team Liquid. You think they're all said and done, and all of a sudden, Space Age game.
So that was, I'd say that was a pretty close round, and it is actually right now. Oh, this was actually a 2v1 in this situation. So you jump out. Ah, PSK got killed by the Claymore. Ooh, that is bad. Because if PSK and Paula could peek this buck at the same time, they could win it. So that was a PSK. Oh, well, it is what it is. But really, it's a terrible bomb site. Anyway. Space Station bringing the same lineup, except, well, no, they've dropped the Jackal and replaced it with Dokkaebi. And then, roughly the same setup coming out from Liquid, at least compared to their last hold of downs here. Alright, so I'm assuming a room clear comes out, same as usual. Yes, okay, so room clear comes out, but guess what? No roamers.
31 rounds. You know, I can pre-fire a little bit, but eventually I'm gonna have to reload, right? Yeah.
Mute tricking, even though that doesn't work, and there is a Thatcher, so this mute really isn't going to do much.
How much time you can waste also by doing that as a defender.
Oh, absolutely. It's insanity to me. But it appears we are gonna have a little bit of mute tricking going on by Sexy Cake. So I guess.
So thinking they just lost half his HP, and I don't see how.
Try and get that mute jammer down before Chala can move over to get the hatch, but they are going.
Well, hatch gets open. Mute tricking doesn't work.
Saw that they did not have a Kaid, and they knew they only had a mute. So he pre-placed those X-Kairos. When the EMP went off, he launched them. You obviously can't stop something that's already been launched, so they are going to be able to get that hatch open. Now their eyes are set on Pantry, which, again, it's a as you do, more or less thing. You get that open, you hold their cross inside.
Alright, so now I believe meeting has been opened, and so is the hatch. And one thing I kind of wish, well, I kind of wish that Space Station was going more for fights than meeting, because I feel like once they take attic control, they could do a, I mean, once they could take attic control pretty easily, I think. And if they have somebody holding the pixel peak of tower outside, then they could kill anybody rotating outside of, rotating out of meeting, then just put someone on flank watch. So, kind of wish they did that, but it is what it is. They're saying we're just not going to take these gunfights, which is risky because a good flank can end everything.
A minute and 10 seconds left. Team Liquid still on match point. You can take Space Station out here in this first map. But slowly but surely, players will be crawling down the stairs to hear the EMP and all. And still, all players left alive, now under a minute mark.
Nitro cells and smokes. What Team Liquid has here on the defensive side as this continues to just tick down, and SSG is trying to find this opening frag, but Team Liquid's doing their damnedest to not give it to them, as it could spell disaster. First smoke grenade going to go down. That's going to be a smoke for the Mira. They are not able to see. Chala, though, going to take a little bit of damage. I'm going to assume that Maringa expended one of those toxic babes. Yes, he did. So still have more smoke nades.
Alright, so smoke for smoke. Paula, I'm going to... Okay, here we go. So, this is kind of what I wanted, where Rampy took attic control, opened up the hatch, and then just shot down. And I kind of wish that all of Space Station was contesting this rather than just Rampy, because by opening up attic and then going... By opening up attic, if he lost the gunfights, then theoretically Liquid could capitalize on that, and let's just say it then turns into a 5v4 Liquid's favor. They could both rotate upstairs, and with 25 seconds left, they could be going for a late flank down both the armory stairs and coming from kitchen hallway at the same time, which could be really deadly for a Space Station.
Very impressive here by the man that we know the most for his fragging potential. He's going to be able to hold off the hallway. Maringa's actually going to end up killing Chala. Bosco will don the mantle, though, as he's going to have to try and stick this. They're going to have to try and do something. Maringa, no more toxic babes at his disposal. Killing Chala. Bosco.
Okay, this isn't good. So, Smoke is out of smokes. He should be making the call out, hey, I'm out of smokes. I need someone to rotate over with a nitro cell. And I'm hoping Mute just did. Now he's going for a flank. Bomb goes down, so bad from Sexy. That was kind of a team coordination thing coming out from Liquid. They need to be able to go for, like, they need to be able to layer it where it's like, okay, so first we use our 3 smokes, then we use our, then Mute comes over with his nitro cell, then Smoke comes over, so basically Smoke uses all his smokes, then Mute comes over with his nitro cell, then Mira comes over with hers. At that point, 3 smokes and 2 nitro cells later, you're going to have a kill. Now, 3v3, but the bomb is down, so Rampy shotguns Maringa going for the flank. Now he does get down. Ooh, that might have been a trade. That's pretty rare on land. Instantly shut down. Okay. Alright, so 6-4 now. Basement defense again. No changes from Liquid. And Space Station, no changes as well. The thing is that both teams are doing the exact same thing, and it seems like neither one knows how to actually counter the attack. This has basically been 10 rounds of neither defense I don't think a single defensive round has won.
Empire, which Empire bowled over from the final. Yeah, I apologize.
But still, it's the fact that Space Station Gaming, they know what they're capable of.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, racking up these 4 wins, they have the confidence now. The momentum's definitely on their side. If you're on Team Liquid, you're pretty scared at the moment. You have nothing really going for you to win this last round. The rounds are ending closely, by the way, but you're not pulling it off. We're out of preparation phase. See if Space Station Gaming go ahead and put one more to their belt. But Rampy, he's been basically the hot hand. He's gonna be on Buckles from Stalking at 3.
So, same setup coming out from both teams, same roam is going to come out. And this is something I really don't like, how after 10 rounds of basically this defense not working, now it's not 10 rounds on basement, I get that, but it's been at least 5. I hate that both teams aren't figuring out that it's not working, and they need to change things up. Because they're just giving away rounds at this point. Like, if you're just losing rounds, try new stuff. Try to go just random. Try to throw the enemy off guard. If they are just randomly, if they're just entering, well, if they've been doing the same thing 3 rounds in a row and you haven't been contesting, contest 1 the 4th. Because by doing that, you can throw them off. If you just change the look, that can throw teams off. If they had, like, it can. It's the way it works, but neither team, both teams are kind of saying our defensive execution is better than your attack, and neither team has actually been able to figure it out.
Logic bombs, always ringing those phones. A little bit of annoyance for Team Liquid, but they've recently been nerfed. They're not as good as they were, but they still are pretty damn good. So
Okay, and it looks like there is a tower take coming out from Space Station.
you answered, didn't matter if you walked across a mute or anything at all. Now what it does is it rings for 11 seconds, or if you walk over a mute jammer, it goes away.
Yeah. But you know, that's really good, especially when you're going into a site. Let's say, especially when you're on attack and you're telling the diffuser, go ahead and bust that logic bomb out. You'll be able to know where everybody is. That's going to stall them momentarily.
There's such a big crowd and such a tiny venue here. I absolutely love seeing every single fan down here.
Alright, so Space Station is changing their defense.
Happy, you know, they're
No. Okay, so I like this. This is a change from Nesk. And then Space Station changed their attack because they're saying they have been doing the same attack over and over again. So Liquid is going to try and set up to actually counter that, and we won't be able to win.
I love it, man. Everybody's happy. Whenever I go out there to the stands,
Nest just ran from small tower over to the
rooting for their own wolf team.
main. Oh god, I can't remember the call out, but he ran over from small tower from the window.
The damn tournament. This man's excited about everything. I'm a little bit jealous, you know, a little bit jealous. But besides that point, Remy's taking quite a bit of damage, and that's going to be from Sexy King downstairs. And actually, Chala's been down inside
Ooh.
of construction. Somebody's going to have to go and try and pick him up.
A little weird that Chala gets down to a dropping Maestro.
From Sexy King.
Because Maestro was upstairs, now he's downstairs, and now Chala's down. Which tells me that probably Chala wasn't holding an angle on the hatch.
Of construction. Somebody's going to have to go and try and pick him up. Otherwise, he's just a dead man crawling. Rampy does not have much health either. It's one bad thing about offense. You really don't have a
Then
dog.
Nest kills Rampy. Ah, come on, I want to see that.
Find the other fragger as Rampy will
That was an attic.
That one player out the game, and they're down to Charlotte and Team Liquid. Everybody pretty much has full health except
How did this happen?
Sexy King. But folks,
I don't want to say Nest just ran up. He either ran up the No, he. I think Nest just shot through the wall.
nobody's there currently, so they're gonna have to start.
So great on him.
We have under a minute left, and Team Liquid closer than ever to finally finishing out this map. But it's gonna be all about execution within these final seconds.
This is all where it matters. This is for all the marbles, at least here on Oregon, as Nicky Nate's going to throw down on Rampy. They actually had a mute jammer by the mirror, so he's trying to get rid of that so they can pop it. But all those Excaliburs have already been shot off, Free Fire's coming through. But Space Station walking on eggshells right now, as they do not want to be the first one to die. Nitro Cell's already prepped, so no one's going to have that tape ripped to here. It's just going to be an explosive finish. It's actually going to land literally nothing as Paul will expend that utility. And he's eaten quite a few bullets, finally going to end up getting down, but 15 seconds is all that remains. You're going to have smoke crawling out from the hallways. Marenga's going to end up killing Paula, but he's trying.
Okay, so that was both a mistake and not a mistake. So with Smoke realizing that the plant was about to come down, he threw the smoke with knowing that it would kill his teammate. However, this is a situation where you just kill your teammate. You just accept it because you need to make sure they don't get this plant down. Fultz entry frags and wins the fight. Chala then gets killed by Nesk. Where was... Oh, Chala was downed. Oh, wait, Chala was downed. How the... Wait, did Chala get picked up? Yes, Chala got picked up. Oh, nobody of Space Station paid attention to meeting, and Nesk flanked in, shot down the hatch, killed Chala. Oh, Nesk just made a play. So that was a very big oversight coming out of Space Station. They had nobody on flank watch, and because of that, Nesk came in and killed 3 people. That is just a mistake. Okay, so that was Oregon. It sucks. It really does suck to try and do a VOD review of this, because it was, at least this game, because it was literally just both teams throwing themselves at one another and just trying to figure out what worked and what didn't work on defense. And in all honesty, I would say the main mistake coming out from Space Station was changing their attack. Their attack was working, so they should have kept with it and maybe changed up the execution a little bit, where they, instead of, say, smoking this area, we smoke this one, and then maybe changing up who goes where a little bit. But really, that was just, it was a bit of a, in all honesty, they just messed up, and the main mistake was they had no one on flank watch, and because of that, they just got gunned down from behind and thinking they got knifed. So that was just, I think Ness got 4 kills at the end of this, and I think they were all, actually, hold on, how many? Ness killed Rampy, Chala. Yeah, so Ness got a 4K that round. Basically, Ness went off and made a good play on the Buck, where, because Buck got killed for somehow, I don't know how, I couldn't see it, Buck goes down, and I think they just messed everything up for Space Station with who was supposed to be where. And yeah, it is what it is, and it was really the main mistake was they just didn't have anyone on flank watch, and because of that, they lost. And in all honesty, that's really good, because that's a basic thing your team has to be able to do if you want to be good. And if you want to win games, you have to be able to do all the little things correctly. And that's one of the little things, and they didn't do it, and because of that, 3 of their members got gunned. So, well, no, 2 got gunned, 1 got knifed. But overall, I hope this helped you guys a little bit. And I'm going to have to do another Oregon game to kind of show you different strategies, because really this looked pretty bad from both teams, where there was only one defensive strategy they had for each site, and because of that, I think both teams, well, I'd say both teams need to work on their Oregon. However, Oregon's getting removed from the map pool, which is pretty good considering it's not in a good place right now. And due to that, they can't work on their Oregon anymore. There's no reason to. But is what it is. Hope you learned something. Hope you could kind of see where the mistakes are coming out from both sides. And I mean, really, it was just the defense making a bunch of mistakes, and the main one was just not adapting. And so, yeah, hope this helped. Hope you guys know not to go Cade with Thatcher. I'm saying that a lot, and it is actually it's annoying me a little bit. But anyway, hope it helps. Hope you have just hope it helps.